Okay, everyone has to acknowledge the recording or leave the meeting. Okay, so welcome to Genealogy, Omaha, Carlentini, and beyond. And today is, what is it?
February 22nd.
Yeah, it's 2/22/22.
Ciao a tutti.
It's TWO Tuesday. Yeah, so our date is a palindrome today. And my daughter is a math major. She's all excited about that for some reason.
I think a math major would be.
Yeah. So I'm seeing Mr. Turco down there. Your dad is online with this too, right, Mary Kay?
Yes, I wanted him to meet Sylvania, meet his cousin.
So tell me his first name again.
Sam.
Okay, so all right, so click in his box in the upper right hand corner on the 3 dots in the blue there.
Okay.
And you can rename him.
Okay.
All right, she did it. Oh, what a host she makes. So we're gonna make her the presenter too.
Oh, and he left.
So we were just doing a little bit on Tony Venditti's tree. And so Tony has been with us a couple times, I think now. Welcome, Tony. Tony is the moderator of Memories of Little Italy Facebook page.
Yep.
So thank you for your service in that regard, Tony. I mean, we
You're
get
welcome.
so much wonderful information through that avenue. And the first one on was Gary Gibilisco. We have been straightening out his family tree. And then Bob Hughes joined us. And then Dean Badiato, and I see Anita is with us. Welcome, Anita. And of course, Mary Kay. And then we have a new face with us, Beth Wells. And if I could get you to turn your microphone on, Beth, and introduce yourself. We'd love to hear a little bit about you.
Awesome. Well, I heard about this group at the presentation through the Historical Society. Was it a week ago Sunday? And my grandmother, Conchetta Marino Battaglia, was born in Carlentini or Lentini. They emigrated and moved here when she was, I think, like all of 8 months. And she married Anthony Battaglia, who was from Palermo.
Okay, so wait a minute. What was her maiden name?
Her maiden name was Marino. I see Anthony Marino on here.
Yeah.
Wondering already. So the Marino was actually my great-grandfather, and he was from the mainland, Naples. And anyway, her mother's family was Chrissy. I've been to Carlentini once and had the opportunity to meet some Chrissies who we think were relatives. There's pictures that make them look like they would have been sisters, but I'm not sure because I didn't speak the language well enough to be able to get to that kind of understanding. So
you say Chrissy, so is that spelled Crisci?
Crisci.
Yeah, so the Italian would be Crisci.
That's the Lentini name.
It's a Lentini name, Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where so my grandmother, the Carlentini Lentini connection, I think that my grandmother's mother's family was from Lentini. I think that my grandmother was probably born in Lentini, although I don't have her birth certificate. I'm working on trying to get that.
Do you have a date of birth? Do you have a date of birth?
Yes, August 23rd, 1912.
1912, August 23rd, 1912. So 23 August 1912. And Lentini, what was her first name again?
Conchetta,
Concetta Crisci.
but it would have been Conchetta Marino.
Concetta Marino.
Yeah.
Born 23 August 1912 in Lentini.
I think, yeah, well, I'm not sure. See, that's where I need to make sure. My mother has dementia, and so I'm trying to pull all these pieces together, which is why I joined this group.
Okay, do you know the name of her parents?
So her mother was Rose Crisci. I have that somewhere. Let me find it.
Okay,
She was
well,
born
no
in
worries. We don't want, I just put that in the chat log. Concetta Marino, born 23 August 1912, mother Rose Crisci. And do you know the father's name?
Francisco.
Yes, thank you. That's right. Oh,
So you-
Jubilisco. Yes.
Hi,
That's
cuz.
Hello. Okay.
So yeah, we're all cousins here, but you guys are really cousins.
On my dad's side.
Sorry, I have to translate in Italian. Qua siamo tutti cugini, ma voi ragazzi
Ciao,
siete
Eleonora.
davvero cugini.
Eleonora, mi
Ciao a
senti?
tutti. Sì,
Beth,
benissimo.
who is your
Ok,
who are
perché
your
sembrava che
Ciao
non mi
Jibiliscos?
Sandy.
sentissero.
Hi, Eleanor. Beth, who are your Jibiliscos?
So here's what I'm going to do by the next time. I didn't know what this group was all about. And so somebody helped with a family tree as my mother was starting to experience some dementia. And so I'm looking to fact find on some of that. I will bring that the next time and maybe we can get deeply into it, but I did not this time. I just wanted to be a visitor. I wanted to see what this was all about. It's beautiful.
Who's your
Yeah,
grandfather?
family.
Do you know who your grandfather was?
My grandfather was Anthony Battaglia. He and his brother Nate had Battaglia Printing in South Omaha on
Okay.
13th Street.
Yeah, I have Conchetta's family here. She had a sister, Francesca, 5 years older, and her parents, Francesca Marino and Rosa Crisci. And
So Dean, I am not getting anything that you're saying. Can you say it slower and a little bit
A little
louder, maybe?
let me check my settings, make sure my audio is up. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's a little clearer.
Okay, Conchetta, I don't know who that is. Conchetta had an older sister, Francesca.
Older sister named
And
Francesca.
her parents are Francesco Marino and Rosa Crisci.
Okay, and the parents are Francesco Marino and Rosa Crisci. Crisci.
Crisci.
Crisci.
Bravo, Crisci.
She was the daughter of
Come il mio
Serena
preside,
Crisci
si chiamava
and
Crisci.
Francesco.
ormai è morto, poverino.
Okay,
Eleonora, ho tante cose da dire stasera a Nick poi, quando
so
loro...
let's finish up. I want to go around the room and make sure that Beth knows who everybody is. So Gary, Tony, Bob, Dean, Mary Kay, Sam Turco, Monica Zendeas, Meg Nanfito Jones are all in Omaha, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm in Texas, And then Anita's in Colorado. And Anthony is here in Texas near me. And Laura Scolari is in Carlentini. And Silvana Ianello is in Carlentini. Sandy Troutman is in North Texas. Anthony and I are in South Texas or Gulf Coast, Texas. And Eleonora currently is in France in the Pyrenees, no, not the Pyrenees, the Alps. She's in the Alps. And Ron Page is in Tennessee. So Beth, you see, we're spread all over the world. And we are very fortunate to have 3 people who speak Italian and can teach us how to speak Italian, which we're all trying to learn.
Nick, stasera ho tante cose da dirti.
Nick, tonight I have a lot of things to tell you. I'm the
Magnifico,
translator.
eccellenti.
Eccellente.
I facilitate because Silvana and Laura, they don't speak English, but they understand. So I will go back and forward, Italian and English, okay?
So why don't we let Silvana? I'm so excited. I need to know
Yes.
the news.
Va bene, vai
Sì.
Silvana,
Oggi ho
vai.
telefonato all'ufficio. Allora, devo dire a Nick che ho fatto parecchie telefonate questa settimana. Prima ho telefonato da Arquata del Tronto.
Okay, this week I decided to make a lot of calls. First of all, I called to Arquata del Tronto.
E ho
Anthony.
parlato con un signore molto gentile che si chiamava Mario Polidori, che mi ha risposto a quelle domande che aveva fatto il signor Marino.
And she asked a lot of questions to this very polite man. His name is Mario Polidori. And
dell'ufficio
Mario?
dello Stato civile di Arquata del Tronto. Dell'ufficio era il responsabile dell'ufficio dello Stato civile di Arquata del Tronto.
So
È
he's
stato
the
gentilissimo.
responsible of the office of the Stato Civile of Arquata del Tronto. Vai, Nick.
Un momento. Anthony, would you type the name of the town just to refresh our memory in the chat log, please?
Sure, I can do that. And thank you very much, Silvana, for making that
ciao.
phone call.
Purtroppo non
And he
abbiamo potuto
answered
risolvere.
to the questions for you, Anthony.
Sì,
E cosa ha
infatti
risposto?
ha risposto che lui non ha gli archivi antichi, che i suoi archivi si fermano al 1867, mentre quelli precedenti facevano parte dello Stato Pontificio. Io questo già l'ho detto a Gio Marino.
Aspetta.
Capito? Per cui
So you
sì.
already know, this guy, this very polite man answered that he doesn't have the registers going before the 1860 because those, they belong to the Vatican State.
Yes, I got that message.
Sì, gli ho scritto il messaggio. E poi un altro suo parente non era nato da Arquata del Tronto, ma a Norcia. Quindi lui dovrà fare le ricerche a Norcia.
So, and another relative of yours was not born in Arquata del Tronto, scusami, but
Sì,
in
Arquata del
Norcia. Norcia.
Norcia. Sì, che è in Umbria, Norcia, tra l'altro.
Sì, Norcia is
non è neanche nelle Marche.
It's in another region.
Yeah, I've already started some research and I looked in Umbria. Unfortunately, it's in the mountains, very sparsely populated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Un'altra cosa che facciamo parlare, signor Marino.
Because it is sparsely populated, there are no microfilms, there's no records. It's not
C'è stato il terremoto, tra l'altro.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a hard time.
She said there was an earthquake.
There was
Ad
even
Arquata del
an
Tronto c'è
earthquake
stato il
in
terremoto e molta
Quando?
parte dell'archivio si è distrutto nel 2016.
Ah, ma che era il
Altro
terremoto dell'Aquila che ha
Sì,
toccato?
il terremoto, esatto, sì, il terremoto di, come si chiamava quella città? che si è
Dell'Aquila,
distrutta?
dell'Abruzzo.
Sì,
Aquila.
sì, l'ultimo terremoto che è stato un po' distruttivo.
So in the
Di Amatrice,
2000,
ecco. Terremoto.
di Amatrice, yes. In the
Ecco, ora mi sto
2016,
ricordando.
there was a terrible earthquake over there, and the archive has been destroyed. So a lot of documents they have been lost.
Yes,
Mi ha raccontato questo
Anthony,
signor Polidori che erano tutte sotto le macerie. Mischino, non hanno
all the
potuto recuperare
registers
niente.
were under the broken stones underneath, and completely broken, destroyed, and this is terrible.
yeah, unfortunate for me.
Vabbè,
Thank you
però
very
But
much.
there is still the Vatican State. Ma c'è sempre lo Stato Vaticano, no? La
Stato
Chiesa.
Pontificio, figurati ai tempi si chiamava
Yeah,
così.
I'm sorry, not the Vatican State, but lo Stato Pontificio, that was the state of the Pope before the unification of Italy.
Erano i preti che scrivevano queste cose. Un'altra
Yes,
cosa
the
importantissima
priest.
che ho scoperto oggi, che
Sì?
riguarda i signori Sapienza di cui Nick mi aveva dato. Ti ricordi che tu avevi messo anche su Facebook questa cosa?
Sì, another
Ho
very
parlato con la
important.
signora Miceli.
Aspetta, fammi tradurre. So Silvana said,
Sì, sì.
another very important thing that I just discovered today is about the family Sapienza. She talked with the lady Marino, con la
No,
signora
Miceli,
Marino.
la signora Miceli.
Miceli, I'm sorry, with
Miceli,
with a lady,
Miceli
a lady
dello Stato
called.
civile di Lentini.
Ok, so she wanted to talk with this lady called Miceli. Come si chiama di nome questa signora? Miceli?
Non me l'ha detto, mi ha detto signora Miceli, non lo so il
She
nome,
just,
come il
she
cognome.
just introduced yourself with the
Però è
family.
lei che si occupa di queste cose. E allora,
So
intanto la
Silvana
mail di
went
Nick
to
non l'aveva
Lentini
ricevuta
to
e
meet
io
this
gliel'ho
lady.
rimandata.
Ok.
Sì, Lentini. Quindi oggi le ho rimandato la mail che Nick aveva mandato il 7 febbraio perché mi ha detto che non l'avevano ricevuta. Secondo me l'hanno presa.
So
Io gliel'ho
today,
rimandata oggi.
Silvana sent back the email that Nick sent on February 7th, and they said that they didn't receive it. So thank you, Silvana.
Comunque, poi praticamente hanno controllato, la signora è stata gentilissima perché mi ha detto che più che altro di queste cose si occupa l'ufficio anagrafe, ma nonostante tutto ha guardato i registri e mi ha detto
So
che uno di questi
the lady was
Sapienza,
very polite. She said, even if those things are managed by the ufficio anagrafe, even if I'm in the Stato Civile, I will open the registers for you. So she looked for everywhere and she gave a lot of informations.
allora ha detto
E quindi
che praticamente
cosa è
uno di
venuto
questi
fuori?
due, ci sono due Sapienza nell'albero genealogico che ha fatto Nick, c'erano due che si chiamano Sapienza Giuseppe, uno Sapienza Giuseppe, un altro Joseph Sapienza. La signora, sì,
So there are
se
two
glielo-
Sapienzas. One is Sapienza Giuseppe, and the other one is Joseph Sapienza, always in the same family tree that you made, Nick.
Allora, la signora mi ha detto che uno di questi due Sapienza, lei ha trovato che è sposato con una signora Di Carro, mi ha detto solo il cognome, non il nome. Per cui, e questa signora Di Carro
Di
è ancora
Carlo?
in vita, Di Carro, con due R, Di Carro.
Di Carlo.
E a lei nello stato civile risulta ancora in vita, quindi sarà una persona abbastanza anziana, però è ancora in vita. Per cui questo dà speranza di poter trovare i familiari, ma lo dobbiamo chiedere all'ufficio anagrafe.
Ok,
sì,
so
i discendenti, perché lo cercano i discendenti.
This lady works in the office, said that one of those Giuseppe Sapienza that you were looking for was married with a certain lady called Di Carro, who is still alive. So going to the ufficio anagrafe in Lentini,
sì.
Maybe we can find where this lady lives because she's still alive. Maybe she's old, but for real, for sure, maybe it will be easier to meet the descendants, so the relatives.
Right.
Allora, la signora mi ha consigliato di fare così, di scrivere all'ufficio anagrafe di Lentini e cercare, chiedere il certificato storico di famiglia. Si chiama così,
Ok,
certificato
sì, lo so,
storico di
io
famiglia.
ce l'ho di mio padre. Ok,
Ecco,
so
infatti. E
this
questo lo fa
lady,
l'ufficio anagrafe. La signora dice non la posso aiutare perché l'ufficio anagrafe è lontano dal mio ufficio, non siamo in contatto.
sì, sì, sì,
Per cui se lei fa
aspetta.
questa cosa, loro le cercano la discendenza, mi ha detto.
Anagrafe, cercare
Allora,
il
io ho anche l'indirizzo mail
certificato
dell'anagrafe, perché
storico
dovrebbe
di...
scrivere, se voi lo scrivo io nella chat,
Sì,
l'indirizzo mail.
grazie, grazie.
Sì,
So
aspetta.
when we have people who are still alive, to find the relatives, to find the descendants, what we have to look for is this kind of document called certificato storico di famiglia.
Storico di famiglia.
So the
Allora.
historical certificate of the family. And it's the ufficio anagrafe who owns, who manages, who takes them, who has got them. And now Silvana, she's writing down the official email of the ufficio anagrafe in Lentini. Certificate of the historical of the family. It's like if there were divorces, if the family has changed, how the family has been transformed along the years, if there are kids, everything is written in this historical certificate of the family.
Now, is it
Very
my
good.
understanding that they had one of these for everybody?
Yes, everybody
And
has
I've
an
never been
historical.
able to find any access to those. I don't know where to look for those.
Oh, this is the official now. We know that is the official anagrafe, it's not the official stato civile. They own different things. So
Governmental
maybe,
agency, is it not with the government or with the government?
sorry, I'm looking for another things in the meanwhile. That is in
When I wrote to Pippo Folletti in 1992, that's basically what he gave me was the certificate of the family, as historical certificate of the family.
Ok. I have, ok, Silvana, hai altro da aggiungere? Così
Ho scritto,
chiudiamo.
sì.
Perfetto. While,
Non lo so,
so
cioè
Silvana,
praticamente la signora mi ha detto di inviare questa mail all'ufficio anagrafe chiedendo il certificato storico di famiglia di questo Giuseppe Sapienza, che Nick penso sia, lo sai che è quello che è nato a Lentini. Sono due, per cui deve scegliere Nick, non lo so chi è quello esattamente. E poi la signora mi ha detto che è meglio che ci vado io. Sì. Mi ha detto la signora che mandiamo la mail intanto per averla e il Nick la deve mandare anche a me, così poi io ci vado personalmente, perché dice che c'è un solo impiegato in questo ufficio, non è molto capace di vedere mail, eccetera, eccetera. Quindi
so
io mi faccio una passeggiata, mi ha spiegato anche dove e quindi poi vediamo.
In this
Facciamo una
office in
passeggiatina.
Lentini, there is just one employee. He's a very old guy who's not, let's say, not because he's old, but he's not very familiar with the technology.
Non ha molta familiarità, dice non le guardano le mail.
He's not familiar with with technology, so he doesn't double check their emails or this kind of thing. So she has to go there in person, and this lady explained to Silvana how to get there, where is the entrance, the timing and everything. So
Mi ha
now
detto che invia
Silvana
Morgana.
knows.
La signora Michele mi ha consigliato ci vada di persona.
Okay, so let me just take a minute.
All'angolo opposto di dove c'è il fotografo Rocco in prima.
Okay, let me
Dall'altra
just
parte,
take a
sai?
minute,
Hai capito?
Silvana. One moment, please. So I wanted to introduce, for Beth's benefit, I want to introduce Jim Beckman, who his little rectangle just says Jim. And we've also been joined by Kimberly Mateo, and Chris Mangano. Chris, the Sapienza family that you asked about, we've just been
Yes.
talking about. And
Okay.
apparently there is a Giuseppe Sapienza who is now deceased, but his wife is still alive.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so we are going
Di Carlo
to,
si chiama.
I think Silvana's actually planning to go to Lentini. Is that right, Silvana?
Lentini, sì, ufficio anagrafe di Lentini.
She is going to the Ufficio Anagrafe, or the they issue a certificate. It's called the Certificato Storico di Familia.
Esatto.
And
Esatto.
basically that's a kind of a life history of that person with all of the vital events that have occurred in their life, including birth, marriage, children, birth of all the children. And so
Awesome.
that should, you know, open the door to meeting some Sapienza relatives when you go. And I mean, they were from Lentini. It's hard to say where they are now, but this document will probably say where they are and where they live currently.
Eleonora, puoi dire a Nick che se lui questa mail la scrive stasera stesso, perché la signora mi ha detto non va bene quella che ha scritto lui già, deve scrivere che vuole il certificato storico di famiglia indirizzata all'ufficio anagrafi e lui me la fa avere. Io magari domani ci passo e ci do un'occhiata, vediamo. Esco da
Okay, so
scuola,
Silvana, she's asking if you
Lo manda anche a
modify
me.
the email. If you modify the email and you send the new email to them and to Silvana as well, saying that you want the certificato storico di famiglia, she will print it and she will go there in person.
Okay.
Lui lo manda all'ufficio
Even
anagrafe, ma lo manda
tomorrow.
anche a me, così a loro
Even
arriva per
tomorrow.
email e io me
And
lo
you
porto
send it,
cartaceo e glielo
and you
faccio
send
vedere,
it
capito?
to Silvana so she will print it and she will have it in her hands.
Excellent.
I would like to add something about news.
Un'altra cosa che io ho fatto in questi
Silvana, she
giorni
didn't
è stato
finish.
contattare Rino. Scusate,
Sì.
ora
Vai.
Rino Di Mauro.
Tonight
Io
she
gli ho
wants to
scritto
talk
per quelle per i signori campagna di cui Nick mi aveva mandato anche nomi, ti ricordi? Perché non so se
Sì.
Lucy ha fatto qualcosa, anzi glielo volevo chiedere a Nick
Sì, e
se
questa
Lucy
era la
Latina gli
notizia
ha
che
mandato
stavo per
qualcosa.
dare. Lo stavo per dire io perché l'ho sentita
Te le hai
oggi.
mandate?
Sì. Domani mattina li mando.
Io ho sollecitato con Rino per di
Brava.
chiederglielo, insomma, di fare.
Grande, grazie.
E Rino mi ha detto non ti preoccupare, glielo dico. Anzi,
Ok.
l'avevo invitato a venire stasera Rino, ma non si è
Lo
collegato. non
aspettiamo
so
perché lui
Gli ho
ha
mandato
dei
anche il
parenti
link.
in America che vuole trovare. We will wait for Rino, the employee who works in the
Ora io gli
ufficio
scrivo, gli dico
stato
collegati.
civile. Yes, perché no? In the ufficio stato civile because
Ora gli
he's
glielo dico.
looking for relatives in Omaha as well. And the good news that I wanted to that today Lucy Latina wrote me and she said that tomorrow she's going to send by email the documents that Nick asked about himself and about sicuro and about Patrick Campagna. So the tour is that Silvana called Rino, Silvana pushed Rino, Rino pushed Lucy, and Lucy wrote to me, and I'm telling you. So can you imagine 5 passengers to have a paper? But we do it. We can.
All right.
Nick, there's still a sister of my grandfather's that we haven't been able to find.
Mm-hmm.
We will
So I
find
don't know.
everybody. That's a promise. So tomorrow Lucy will send mail and emails. I wrote to you, Nick, in WhatsApp, but I forgot that you don't use it that much. So I said I will send
I
you
saw
mail.
it, but we've been
No
very
worries.
busy this morning, so
No,
I'm sorry
no
I
worries.
wasn't able to
No,
respond.
it's fine. So this is one
Eleonora,
thing.
sei più magra.
No, guarda,
Vero?
sto ingrassando qua. No, no, no. I'm
Ma
getting
guarda,
fatter
sei
here
più
in France.
asciutta in viso. Stai molto
It's just
meglio.
because I'm tired. Dice che sono più magra. No, I'm not skinnier. No, no, no. I'm eating a lot of cheese.
No, ma
Buono, quel formaggio è buono.
possiamo perdere.
Another thing that I
Oh,
wanted to
fine.
share is that a couple of days ago, a friend of mine in the high school, we were together not in the same class, but close by. He works in the Ufficio Stato, in the, oh my, I just wrote it. In the Archivio di Stato di Siracusa. He works over there.
Oh.
And he told me, anything you need, just let me know and I will look for it under the table, just between me and you. And I was like, are you kidding me? Is there an official email that I can share with my friend? And he said, yes, I'm giving you the official one, but anything you need, just contact me. So that's because we share on Facebook. And he said, I'm seeing what you're doing. If you want, I can help. You see, little by little, we are creating our nest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Sì, I'm very happy for
Speriamo
that.
bene, dai.
So yeah, I
Eleonora,
think one of the first things we need to ask somebody about is the 1890s death records.
See, the big hole between
Yeah.
1993 and 1989. No. Oh my. Was it
1893 and 1899.
Yeah, 1893, 1899, the 7 black years.
Right.
Okay.
The black hole
We
of
have nothing.
Carlentini.
We have nothing about that. It's true. Va bene.
So any other news urgent that we need to share before we start talking about the new Portali Antenati?
I quickly have a question for Eleonora. So I have joined the group that's coming to Sicily with Sherry Kanger. And I have a cousin in Nebraska who has been in very close contact with 3 of our relatives in Sicily. And he's already contacted them that I'm coming over. I don't know how I'm related to them because their last name isn't Nanfito or Damaro, but we'll get all that figured out. So my question for you is, you had talked about we need to set aside time to visit with them. How do I know what days so I can tell these people when we're going to want to get together?
Yes, I'm telling you immediately. It's very easy. You go last Sunday of August. That is the official festival of Santa Lucia. You have available with them the day before and that Sunday itself. So August 27th for lunch and August 28th for lunch. We have activities till noon, more or less, 11:30, midday maximum. Obviously, if you wanted to skip some activities, those 2 days are dedicated to Carlentini. So we are organizing activities to let those people do something if they're not organized with families. So they will have just the lunch on their own as a real free time. But in theory, you can really spend the whole day with them if you want.
Well, I know one of them lives
According to
in
their ability.
Augusta. Is it Augusta? Augusta?
Mhm.
Ragusa.
One lives in Syracuse, and I don't know where the third one lives yet, but I'll have to find that out.
Okay.
So Meg, if you can get their contact information, whether it be email or especially if they're on Facebook, that's real
I just
helpful.
friended them on Facebook.
Yes,
Okay.
please write them to me. Let's talk, me and you, so I can facilitate already translating, being an interpreter between you. Maybe we can organize a call. You can meet them before I'm available for that.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm
Okay.
So when
welcome.
you're trying to figure out the relationship, I would like to add their information
Stay out of there.
to our tree so that, you know, I can show it to you on the charts and so forth.
Oh, I will send that to you, Nick. I don't want to take up the time here, but I'll send it to you.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. And if you don't mind, and we're having any trouble, I mean, if I wouldn't mind communicating with them and getting more details.
Okay. I guess one of them actually has already come to Nebraska, which I had no idea happened.
Oh, wow.
Back.
That's excellent.
One of them
So,
works of defense. One I think is a school principal, so it'll be interesting.
oh, beautiful. So, okay, so anybody else have anything that they want to ask or?
Qualcun altro ha qualche altra domanda da fare?
Aggiorno che ancora non ho la mappa del cimitero, I haven't map.
So
che ci sono stata al comune.
Laura, she went to the city hall. She talked with the Mr. Sampugnaro, who sent her in the highest floor, where she talked with another person who sent her to another office. She doesn't have an official map of the cemetery, but she's working on it. Grazie, Laura.
Excellent. Okay, well, I appreciate your persistence in going to all these offices. Okay.
Cosa ha
Gary?
detto? Cosa ha
Nick,
detto?
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Ti ringrazio, Laura. Grazie, ha detto.
In my journey through all my trees, I've come across the Mangano, like Chris, M-A-N-G, and I've come across M-A-G-N. Now, are those
Magnano.
separate families, or could that have been one that name was changed somewhere?
No, I
Mangano?
think they're just different names.
They're different names because my grandfather is M-A-N-G-A-N-O and my biological grandfather is M-A-G-N-A-N-O. So there I have both names in my family.
Because
Magnano
maybe they
Mangano.
Right. Mangano is Chris's grandfather and my grandfather by her father. And then the Magnanos, that's how they pronounced it.
Hanno confuso Mangano e Magnano.
Sì.
Facile questo.
This is easy to be misunderstood.
Very much
Mangano,
so.
Magnano. Okay.
Okay, I got one more thing, then I'll shut my mic off. I found the shipping manifest for my grandfather when he came over in 1911. He came through Quebec, which was sort of strange, I thought, but he left through Trieste, which is way up there north of Venice. It sounds a little weird, don't it, coming from Sicily?
Yeah, how did he get there?
Don't know.
That's a
I don't know
major
why,
port.
but immediately
Yes,
I
there's a
had
major
a,
port.
Yeah, but
maybe-
there's major ports on the west coast of Italy too.
Well, they went from where all over.
You know, the only thing that I would say, Gary, is, you know, people from Carlentini went all over Italy to find work. So he may have, you know, been working temporarily up there.
He was only 11 years old.
And it
Only
couldn't
11 years
be
old. Wow.
11. So this is a choice of his father. The reason
Well,
why he was
the other thing you want to look at is a particular ship may have started in Trieste, but then might have stopped in Naples or Palermo on its way.
Sì.
Yeah.
Silvana, abbiamo questo piccolo quesito, anche Laura, ve lo
Vediamo.
espongo. I would like to translate in Italian. Maybe they had lamps, you know, ideas. Allora, Gary
Qualche pensiero.
giustamente dice, ho un piccolo dubbio perché ho scoperto la lista passeggeri dove era imbarcato mio padre nella nave e lui è arrivato nel nuovo mondo nel Quebec, quindi giustamente in Canada,
In Canada.
ed ha lasciato l'Italia da Trieste, dalla Sicilia, da Carlentini, nel 1907, right?
Who?
What year?
1907, Gary?
1911.
Ah, ok, nel 1911.
1911.
Chi glielo portava a un bambino di 11 anni a Trieste? Perché aveva 11 anni. Quindi prima guerra mondiale non
È
può
andato da
essere.
solo in America?
Prima,
È stato prima, perché la guerra mondiale è 15-18. Giusto?
E infatti questo è
15-18 per la
prima.
prima guerra
Non
mondiale.
vorrei che sono magari delle...
So Gary, why don't we do this? Let's look at the actual passenger list once we finish our talk about the
Comunque Trieste è un
Portale
importantissimo porto
Antonacci,
italiano, quindi
because it might have some clues on the list itself.
Yeah, let's see. Was he alone or with his parents?
No, he was with his mother and his Jubilisco cousin.
Era con sua mamma, con un cugino e col
Mm.
figlio del cugino.
So there's
Quindi,
two women and
bisognerebbe fare delle ricerche per capire come funzionavano questi viaggi in America, perché certi porti più importanti d'Italia sono Genova,
Nick dice
Trieste, Napoli.
molto probabilmente la
Quindi
nave
magari le
partita da
navi
Trieste.
internazionali.
No, dice,
Ecco,
Nick dice,
magari per
magari la nave
raggiungere la
è
nave.
cominciata da Trieste, poi è passata da Napoli per poi andare a Palermo.
Ecco, può essere. No, da Napoli. Però certo, da Trieste, non lo so, a meno che non passa lo stretto di Messina e se ne va verso Napoli, dipende. Come si chiamava la nave? Lo sa lui? Il nome della
Do you
nave?
know what's the name of the ship?
yes, I got it right here.
Yeah, let's look for it as well. Because, for example, the family of my stepfather, who comes from Ribera area, so we are Agrigento on the west coast, all of them, they emigrated to Montreal because there was a direct line to Quebec from the west part of Sicily. So for them, it was easier to join Canada rather than go to New York or New Orleans at the time.
Comunque è molto probabile, come hai detto tu, che la nave partiva da Trieste, poi scendeva giù, faceva il giro,
sì, l'ha detto Nick,
prendeva i
infatti...
passeggeri. Sicuramente
Sì.
è così, perché si faceva tutto l'Adriatico, magari prendeva delle persone delle Marche, per esempio, lungo tutto il percorso, Puglia,
Nick,
Calabria, Sicilia.
Yeah, it could be that, Nick, you're right, that the ship started from Trieste,
certo.
And then little by little, it stopped along the way.
Gary,
Tutto
can I ask Gary a
l'Adriatico
question? Gary, can you put in the names, or at least one of the names of the people that went through Quebec in the chat?
You want one of the names off the manifest?
Yeah, because I got one from 1913.
Come hai detto che si chiama la nave?
No,
Perché
non l'ho
magari
trovata.
With a couple of Gibiliscos and a few Sequenzias.
Comunque bisognerebbe fare delle
went through
ricerche
Quebec.
sulle rotte delle
This
navi.
is a Conchetta, Sebastian, Vita, and Paulo,
Ciao Kim.
all Gibiliscos.
Paolo Gibilisco. Quanti ce ne sono?
Okay.
Che si chiamano così?
I have Paulo and Sebastiana on a boat that came over in August of 1913.
Well, this says it was 1911.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Well, I will hold off and you can share your manifest here in a little bit.
Okay.
And Gary, I have a tip for you too on the names. There was a name in my tree that we couldn't figure out what it was. We kept thinking it was Troya or Tija. And so what I finally did is they're from Sortino. I just Googled like phone records or the phone book for Sortino. And I found that it's really IAIA. That's the name. So if you can go to like current information to see
Yaya,
names are, you can figure out what the
I-A,
writing is. IAIA.
Yaya.
Yeah.
This,
Tesoro, Luisa.
wait, this name I read it today. Ah,
Sì, io
Lucy
conosco-
Latina.
Io
Lucy
conosco
Latina told me.
Luisa. Luisa Iaia.
Yaya. Ma
Sì,
Lucy
che è una
Latina oggi mi ha
professoressa
detto
di
che
lettere.
gli Yaya di Patrick Campagna non erano nati a Carlentini, quindi non è un nome carlentinese.
No, no, ci sono a
Yaya.
Carlentini.
Sortino.
Ce ne sono a Carlentini che si chiamano Iaia.
Ok.
Io li conosco perché una è professoressa di
mystery of the
lettere.
name, like
Si
what
chiama
name
Luisa.
was that?
E un altro
Iaia.
bambino era in classe con mia figlia che si chiamava Iaia.
Okay,
Okay.
so let me just share my screen and show you the new Portale Antonati for Syracuse. I've actually got Carlentini highlighted here, and I created a what do you call these things? A bookmark that takes me directly to this, because if you start at the main page, which is, I'll just show you the process. Okay, so to get here from the main page, then, I mean, I guess you could try putting Carlentini in here and see what happens. It's kind of slow, but I guess that's pretty much the same thing, is by just doing a search by the city. But okay, so this is over on the left-hand column here is kind of a navigational guide to where you're at. So we're in the group of records called Archivio di Stato di Siracusa, and there are these fonds or folios. One is the Stato Civile della Restaurazione, and the other is Stato Civile Italiano. So the breakpoint is 1864. Anything after 1864 is Stato Civile Italiano, and anything prior is Restaurazione.
So it means that it took
Ma
3
perché
years.
prima, perché praticamente si chiama così perché prima in Sicilia c'era il regno delle due Sicilie, quindi fino al
Certo,
1861 penso che l'archivio era quello del regno borbonico.
Before that date in Sicily, there was the kingdom of the two Sicilies with the Bourbons as kings. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So this Italiano basically is the key there. But that's when Italy became a country.
Yes.
Good.
So so then you look down here and it tells you what's contained. It says there's nati, there's matrimoni, comma, processetti, there's morti, there's matrimoni, and then there's matrimoni allegati. So these are all different record groups. And I think we're pretty much familiar with these, but nati, of course, is births.
Processati
Matrimoni
significa
is
lavorare.
marriages. Morti is deaths. So the allegati is allegati means attachments or enclosures.
Sì, esatto.
So that is where you would find the death records rather of the father and the grandfather would be in your allegati.
Certo. The grandmothers as well.
What'd you say, the grandmother?
It includes like the wives, the mothers, if they died.
Yes, both for the groom and the bride, both of their fathers and their grandfathers. Okay, so.
And also wives or spouses that have died.
So when you click on this, when you click on expand, it shows you all of the available years. So So
What are the
usually this
numbers
is
in
kind
front of
a-
that?
I'm sorry?
What are the numbers in front of that of the year?
Good question. I don't know right offhand. Oh, that means there's 6 record groups within that year.
Okay, groups, not just records.
Right.
Okay.
So let's, for example, we'll go to 1835. When we click on 1835, it says there's 6 results for Carlentini. And the first one is the matrimone with the memorandums, notificazioni, and the procesetti.
And what does that mean?
I'm sorry?
What does that mean, the procesetti?
I haven't really spent
Processati
much time in
significa-
procesetti.
Processati significa lavorati, cioè messi lì quelli che loro hanno trascritto in un certo senso. Questo significa processato. C'è qualcosa che è stato lavorato.
It's something that has been worked, like transformed, modified. Ma c'è scritto
Lavorato.
processetti.
Processati significa lavorati.
No, ma Silvana c'è scritto processetti.
I was under the impression that processetti was the marriage bands.
Ma secondo me è sbagliato.
Marriage
Poco fa ho letto
That's
Yeah,
what my-
that could be. So,
Non è una
what
parola
I would
che
suggest that
conosco,
we do
processetti.
is go
Processati sì, ma
to the family
processetti no.
search
Un attimino, vediamo se lo trovo.
wiki, and we just put the term procesetti in and see what.
Aspetta, che ha qualcosa da che fare con i matrimoni.
Yeah, because I've never seen that before. And I've seen the marriage bands.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. So I don't know.
Aspetta che lo sto trovando su Google.
Vai.
Okay, so again, for the year 1835, it's the nati, or my browser, I guess, is translating to born or birth. So this is Stato Civile della Restaurazione, which just means it's for pre-unification records.
Allora, Eleonora, ho trovato che significa. Praticamente era un passaggio obbligatorio che facevano i parroci prima delle nozze.
Ok, so
Si chiamava processetto, c'era un piccolo processo in effetti.
Era tipo la stesura legale, forse.
Era
del
una pratica
matrimonio.
importantissima, un colloquio fatto a porte chiuse con il vostro parroco che porta a conclusione l'iter delle nozze. Capito che significa?
So
È un piccolo processo che faceva.
It's like a small a formal meeting with the priest that they had to do to consider the wedding registered and official.
Okay.
well, let's see what's in it.
Visto qua. Su Google c'è.
Bunch of stuff that's hard to read.
Spiegato anche il perché si faceva.
That looks like the front page of the first page of the Allegati type records.
Yeah.
You adjust the
So this
contrast,
says,
easier.
It's
it
not in
says-
good
in
shape
English,
now.
it says document of the solemn promise of marriage between Philadelphia, Matarozza, and Carmela
Not.
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe Capitano,
Cosentino, I think.
Cosentino, maybe. But anyway, so it probably is somewhat related to the marriage bands.
If you go to the next page and it's a birth record, then it's probably the Allegati type records.
Okay, let's keep it simple though. Let's just look at the birth records for a minute. And so when I first look at this, I would go down here and there was no buttons where you could go Well, there's a button to go one page. Prossimo oggetto means the next object. And
Can't put in a number, can't put in a page number.
They don't have
put
it.
in a page number. It does say that this is one of 191.
So they don't have any
But-
gallery view?
But the thing that Mary Kay pointed out to us on Facebook was this, it says visualizzazione
Thumbnail.
finestra displays thumbnail. So
So you will see all of
So
them
you
in a
click
small
on-
version.
when you click on that,
Okay.
it opens up this window, Galleria, which is the gallery view.
Oh, wow.
And so then you can go and you can scroll all the way down to the bottom and see the index pages.
Mhm.
Now, occasionally what I found is that some of these, the index pages won't be the last page. And you'll have to scroll back.
Ciao, Beth. Thank you
Numerous.
for being with us tonight.
Ciao, ciao.
We will wait for
Ciao.
you. You are the welcome anytime you want.
But this is what we're used to in terms of index pages. And so in this particular case, we're looking at Salvatore Sortino.
I see Danfino.
Looks like he's the son of Giuseppe. And I don't quite make out the last name, but it looks like the mother is Giuseppa. And that he was born on the 19th of November. So
Hey, there's
also
a
over here it
Cimino.
says numero di ordine. What'd you say?
There's a Cimino right underneath that.
Yeah, Carmela Cimino. I probably have her in my tree.
And is that,
Eleonora,
is that
Right.
Concetta Manfito under the Cimino?
There's a
That looks
Nanfito,
like it,
Concetta
yeah.
Nanfito. So one thing that I was able to figure out that kind of helps in terms of viewing is if you right click, see where it says open image in new tab. And then you got to go to your new tab over here.
And you have the image saved. Okay.
It's a little larger.
That's as large as it'll get. What I haven't figured out with this thing is how to download the image. The only
Right click.
way-
Right
well,
click
yeah, you
again.
can
Why
right-click.
why don't you take screenshots of your screen?
Well, you
Well-
can do a save image as, and that will save into wherever you choose to put it.
Right. So that's what I've been doing is saving image as, but it only saves what you can see in the window.
Huh.
Oh,
Not the entire picture.
Right.
So you have to
So,
zoom
I
back.
mean, for most things, it has worked for me, but you know, on Family Search, you can download the entire image.
right.
Yes.
And Ancestry, you can download the entire image.
But if you open it with an iPad, you can easily make screenshot page after page and easily have
Mhm.
them in a gallery. So this will be very, very easy in this way.
Yeah, I haven't done that much experimentation with my iPad yet, but
Yeah, this is very helpful. And you can even
So-
open it and modify them, add notes, underline or write a test, or even write on the top of it and make it better, ameliorate something, some part, for example.
so this particular image, that's as close as you can get. There it is. Oh,
Hmm.
Oh,
for some reason it was clicking back and forth. I'm not sure why it's not responding to the zoom in button.
it might just be
There it goes.
slow.
la scrittura è un po'
So that's
difficile da
better.
interpretare, È un
Zupala,
po' troppo.
Lucia Zupala.
Lucia.
Zappalà.
Zappulla o
Zappulla.
Zappalà? No,
Zappulla.
No,
Zappulla, hai
Zappulla
ragione.
forse. Perché Non si capisce. Questa è
Zappalà.
Zappalà perché mi pare che c'è una sola.
Zappalà perché c'è
Zappalà.
una L.
Zappalà c'è una sola L, vero? Zappalà Lucia.
Yeah. Vedi? Che sei occhi sono meglio di due.
So this is the other way that you can do it is, zoom in close, then just.
Poi ce ne
save
vogliono
a bunch of
100
images.
perché non si capisce
Che una
niente.
scrittura
Mi
proprio
rendete
terribile.
conto? Da un anno
Come quelli che
dove-
sono al cimitero sono queste cose.
Sì, sì, tutto scritto a mano, mamma mia.
So
There's a
has anybody
Jibilisco.
else figured out how to save an image any other way on this?
No, but can you read, whoops. Could you
Sorry.
read that Jibilisco name? I was curious. I couldn't see that.
Okay, well, let me go back to it. Share screen.
Eleonora, io vorrei chiedere a Nick un'altra cosa invece, poi quando
Uh,
cioè vorrei
Sì, perché
capire
tra
se
I
5
questa
think-
minuti
I
vado
think
via
it's
che devo
Mariana.
lavorare
Ah,
nel
sì?
sito.
No, e allora chiediglielo. Questa
Ok.
signora vorrei capire se lui riesce a trovare qualcosa di questa signora Di Carlo, visto che abbiamo
And
questo
she
cognome.
was born on
Se
the
riesce a
13th.
trovare il rapporto con questo
January 13th.
Sapienza
Sorry if
Giuseppe.
Silvana asks you another things. Can you look for this is Lady Di Carro before the genealogy finishes?
How do you want me to look for her?
Così ci vado con più cognizione di quando chiedo le cose. Dai.
So Silvana, we will have more details, maybe when she was born. She can be more precise when she will go back to ask about her.
Oh, okay.
Va bene.
Unless she's under 90 years old, she might not even be in the records.
Yeah, we only have access to birth records up until 1910.
Loro hanno accesso agli atti di nascita soltanto prima del 1910, poi quelli nati dopo non ce l'hanno.
Ah, ho capito, quindi non può
È,
guardare.
è
Perché
ancora
questo,
viva?
se lui è nato nel 1933 non ce li ha.
No,
Va
no,
bene.
no.
So we
Vedrò.
do have
Vedrò
access.
io cosa mi
There
diranno
are
domani.
birth records after 1910. There are some birth records after 1910.
There,
Guys,
it goes up
in
to
a-
In Lentini
1917.
especially, in Lentini, we have access to records from 1930 to 1940. We have the birth records for some strange reason.
E poi per una strana ragione ci sono gli atti di nascita che vanno dal 1930 al 1940 di Lentini.
E questo a me interessa, proprio quella è quella giusta.
So this is exactly the right moment because
Certo.
maybe was born in
Perché
the
Sapienza Giuseppe è nato nel
1933.
1933, quindi la moglie sarà nata in questa fascia di tra il
So
33
for
e
sure,
il 40.
for sure,
potrebbe-
she was born that time.
Okay, well, let me show you what we have.
Yeah, because in
Yes.
a couple of minutes I have to go.
Okay, so this is Lentini.
Lentini,
And
sì.
if you go down to Indice,
Sì?
oh no, this is the
Perché
wrong
il
record.
fatto, cioè la data di nascita di questo me l'ha data lui, me l'ha data Nick, la data di nascita di questo Sapienza Giuseppe.
Sì,
Quindi lui ce l'aveva.
certo.
Per cui se cerca Di Carlo magari trova il collegamento tra marito e moglie, chi lo sa, qualche altro di
Dovrei chiedere a mia mamma se conosce qualche Di Carro. Sai, anche per sentito dire.
La signora Miceli mi ha detto che molti di questi Sapienza se ne sono andati in Canada, cioè in altri paesi, non negli Stati Uniti. Lei li conosceva alcuni, addirittura di persona. Ma sono tutte persone emigrate in America, però non.
Okay, so
negli
this is the little glitch in their system. We have the Nashita from 1931 to 1940.
Esatto, lì dobbiamo cercare.
Okay, I need
Di
to
Sì,
Carlo.
and you should look for them over there. Sì, sì, sì.
Ok, vediamo.
I Di Carro sono quelli che vendono nella strada per andare ad Agnone, la strada vecchia. Questi vendono il materiale edile.
Sì. Ma può darsi che siano quelli, non lo so. Questa è
E
una
poi mi pare
signora.
che a Carlentini ci dovrebbe essere Miceli, la sorella di Tony Miceli era sposata con Di Carro o era
No,
Garro quello? Forse era Garro.
Ma la sorella di Tonicelli,
il cognome?
Non mi ricordo.
Di
No, quella forse era,
Carro.
no, quella era Garro, quella era Garro, no.
Di
What is
Carro.
the surname?
Di Carro.
D-I-C?
Sì.
D, okay, so
Te lo scrivo? Se vuoi lo scrivo.
DI and then separate CARRO.
Di Carro.
Oh, how nice the handwriting.
yeah, these are beautiful.
None of mine are ever in something that nice.
Okay, so here's the DIs. Di Caro Alfio.
No,
Di
deve essere una
Caro
donna.
Giuseppa.
Può
Di
darsi.
Caro Maria.
Ce ne sono tanti.
That's it.
What
1900.
year is this? What year is this?
Okay,
Deve
so
essere un po' più piccola di
Giuseppa is 1937.
Potrebbe essere, potrebbe essere.
1937.
37, se lui è del 33, questa potrebbe essere sua moglie. Potrebbe.
1933.
This is 34.
Sapienza è nato nel 1933 e quindi la moglie è un po' più piccola.
What is her first name?
Non lo so.
Di Caro Maria? Di Caro Giuseppa?
Non lo so. I don't know.
No lo so. Okay. Well,
I'm wondering if those names are just the male on the one side and the female in the third column there, or is that the parents'
no,
name?
these are, okay, it says
Io
right
penso
here.
che quella
Those are
del
the parents.
1937.
Oh, it's a birth.
Cognome
Okay, the birth.
e
Okay.
nome. So that's the
Sorry.
surname and the name, and this is the father, paternita, and this is the mother, maternita.
Okay,
Who's
sorry.
the father, Silvana? Who's the father? Padre.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh.
I know simple Di Carro.
Yeah, well, we need a first name.
Io penso che potrebbe essere 1937. The age.
So you think it's this one?
Può essere. È più probabile che sia questo. E l'altra è nata nel... Sono
Okay, let me
due.
make a transcript and I'll put it in.
Dobbiamo capire se sono se con qualche atto di matrimonio di Sapienza Giuseppe, non ce l'hai, vero?
Okay, so.
Intanto io mi scrivo questi due nomi. Di Carro Giuseppa e Di Carro Maria. Giuseppa è nata nel 1937. 28 gennaio 1937. Io penso che sia questo. 3 maggio 1934.
Okay, so this is what I got. I put it in the chat. Di Caro Giuseppe di Filadelfo e Maci Maria nata
Il 21
21
gennaio 37.
gennaio.
That's 7.
Mhm.
Penso che sia questa, perché l'età di age is
About right.
probably. Ok,
So,
vedremo.
yeah, we don't have access to the marriage records for a
Ho
woman that
capito.
was born in 1937.
Ho capito. Va bene.
Oh,
Va
but
bene
you know
così.
what? You know what? If we look at her birth record, it might say the name of her husband. So let's do that.
Ho capito.
Let's see. Back. Okay, so Nashita. No, we don't have access to the actual birth record. We have, I thought we did.
Wouldn't we have it on the other side than the new one?
No. So let me show you what we have there. So okay, so birth. Expand. So there's a big gap here from 1899 to 1943. Wow. So, and for 1943, I think all we have are death and marriages. There's no birth records.
Well, that's when they were liberated.
Well, no,
1943.
I think it's a privacy thing, Jim. I don't think they show birth records that late.
All right. Well, I know that they were liberated in 1943.
Yeah, but there's missing records between 1899 and 1943.
No, those are all in Family Search and Ancestry.
Yeah, and those are accessible from home on Family Search. So let's see, what is that?
1890s.
So on Family Search, but the problem with Family Search is we only have the Nashita 1930. We have the supplements for some reason, but we don't have the regular birth.
So did you look at the death record for this particular individual? Because usually they
She's still alive, Jim.
Oh, rats.
No, that's a good thing. We want to talk to her.
Yes. Well, that should answer all the questions right there.
Okay, so as far as Antonini, the improvement that I would most like to see would be able to download the entire image instead of just a screenshot.
How can you line stream the actual years?
This means that I don't have to go to the library to actually get these things anymore.
That's right.
They don't have everything, do they? They don't have everything, do they?
They have more in Lentini than they do in Carlentini.
I don't know. We'll find out here in the next few weeks.
I think it's really hit and miss because I've been looking in Sortino and I can get church records back to 1800, but you don't see that in any other cities or any other towns.
Right.
Mary, where are your Sortinos?
That's this town that they're from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only town in Syracuse province that has church records through Family Search.
Oh, okay. But I realize after a point though, you can only read so much because they're pretty thick. So.
Between the handwriting and the language, you start going buggy for a little bit, and then you got to stop.
Like I don't need my 5th great grandmother because I can only see so much.
Ragazzi, io vi saluto perché Eleonora non si è più collegata, quindi non capisco nulla. I don't understand you. Ciao.
Ciao Silvana.
See you next
Ciao,
week.
Grazie per tutti.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Nick, I want to share something real quick. I was going through a box of old family photographs, and this photo, and I'll download it somehow. It's the first Sons of Italy group in Omaha.
Oh, wow.
The photo is dated sometime between 1927 and 1932. Both of my grandparents are in here, but I mean, it really is the who's who of the Italians in Omaha back in like 1927.
I would love to see that up close.
In the Catholic Sokol Hall on 13th and William Street.
Does it give their names?
Yes, yes, it does. There's a few that are, that's why it says record. My Aunt Lucia was working with Sarita Ruma, trying to identify everyone in this photo. This was taken in this is out of a magazine, an Italian-American magazine called The American Citizen back in 1987. And they were trying, there were a few missing people that they were trying to identify, but most everybody is identified in this photograph. It's fabulous.
What's the date on that newspaper?
It is December 15th, 1987.
And that's the World Herald?
The American Citizen.
Oh. And what was that date again? December
15th, 1987.
And the paper was The Citizen?
American.
Yeah, American Citizen.
American Citizen.
That's the Italian newspaper in Omaha.
Okay.
So is there a
I put it in the chat if anybody wants to see if they can find it. But so that made me think of my conversation that I recently had with Nancy Coco Mancuso. And she has offered, if you contact her via Facebook or via her email, I'm just gonna put this in the chat. It's got some personal information in there, so I would, if you could be kind of careful with this information, I'd appreciate it. But I did an interview with her, and well, it's kind of amazing. Let's see. Coco Mancuso, here we go. So Control A, Control C. And if anybody wants to know the Coco family history, Control V. Oh, it's not letting me paste. What do I do? No, I won't let me paste. Well, let me just read it to you. So Nancy Coco Mancuso, her email, I'll put that in the chat, is I can't do this and chew gum. NANCYMANCUSO_2000 at cox.net. Okay, so her married name is Nancy Mancuso, and She is a
Is it
volunteer genealogist at the W. Dale Clark Public Library. You had a question, Meg?
Is it 200 or 2,000?
Oh, it should be 2000. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be, yeah, 2000. Okay.
You said she's a genealogist at the library?
She's a volunteer at the library.
Okay.
And so
I used to spend a lot of
she
time.
will
there.
look up obituaries, marriages, death records. Just ask for the little Italian lady when you go to the library.
I didn't find her help very helpful.
You didn't find her help very helpful?
No.
That's too bad. I asked her for some stuff on those obituaries, and the reason that it came to mind was she has done some blog posts on indexing all of the obituaries in the American Citizen newspaper. So I wanted to find out if she could actually get me a copy. Of course, the American Citizen newspaper is in Italian. So what you would have to do is transcribe it. If she can get you an image, then you transcribe it. It should be, in typeface. So it should be easy enough to transcribe.
A lot easier.
And then put it into Google Translate, and then you would know what the obituary said. But she said the library closes in September, and it's going to move to 84th off of Center. The website has more information. She also works as a professional genealogist for Ancestry.com. Her mom was kind of a genealogy angel in her life, and so they would sit down and go through the pictures and all that. She was born in 1949. She has 2 siblings. She went to Omaha South High School, graduated in 1969. She lives in Omaha. She's been married since 1971. She has a tree on Ancestry.com, but it's private. And so she told me a little bit about the Cocos, and let's see what else is. She's self-taught on the computer. Her parents were Joseph John Coco and Mary Arrigo or Arrigo. So let me just show you real quickly her obituary website, and then I'll put the address into the web. Let's see if we can find this now. Okay, here we are. Share. And so you're seeing my family search screen. And so probably the best way is just American Citizen Obituary Index. No, I didn't do it. Let's try Nancy Coco and Kuzo genealogy. So that'll get you to her Facebook page, which you can contact her through Facebook. Okay, so here it is, Omaha. These are her blogs, Nancy Mancuso Blogspot. And so this one, she did like a bunch of different newspapers. Not really the one I'm looking for.
I think this is what you get on the WordPress website. That marriages, death.
This isn't it either. Okay, so this one I know links to it. So this is her page. South Omaha Sun, Omaha Guide. Here it is, American citizen. So the best way I found to look for something on here is to type in a surname. So if you hit Control and F on a PC, I could type in Chimino and it'll take me to all of the Chimino obituaries. And you'll see here it says 1 of 2 matches. So if we wanted to go to Nanfido, say, for example, there's two of 4 matches.
Date of published. Is that the date of published or the date of death?
That's the date of publication.
And the date of death could be anytime.
Well, usually within a week.
Well, sometime even more than that.
But
Not my dad. That Charles Nanfido.
it's not your dad? Is that what you said?
No, no. My dad died in 1985.
Well, okay, there's 2 of 4 matches, and these are only obituaries that were published in the American Citizen. So let's go see. There's Antonio that died in 1962. There's that one.
That's that would be my grandfather, Antonio. Antonino.
And there's Giovanna that died in 1959, and Giuseppe who died in 1950. So we do Salerno. We have 9 matches for Salerno. So I think these would probably be interesting from the standpoint of some of the earlier ones, especially. So these actually would date back to 1924, but she's only indexed from 1959.
Is Piricello's in there?
Let me see.
I don't see any technical.
There's
Antonino? Died
there's
in 59.
Angelo in 1960. There's Nunziata in
My nana.
1966. And there's Antonio in 1957.
Yes, my papa.
Can you click on any of these names to find out extended information? What happened?
No, there's no link to the actual image. You have to go look these up on microfilm. So
Giuseppe Salerno's is there. My great-great-grandfather.
You might also be able to use the date and then look up the World Herald, because I'm sure it would be in there as well.
yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I have his obituary. I was just wondering if it was in there.
So you're looking for Salerno?
Giuseppe. I wonder about Rosaria Salerno. Rosaria, her maiden name was Rotello.
There's no Rosaria. So I'm looking at 7 of 9 matches. So let's go down to the bottom. 1, 2. So Luciano is 9 of 9 in 1950.
Well, you see the 9. I don't see the 9.
So right here it says 9 of 9, Dean. That means there's 9 matches for the surname Salerno. I have found that she does put some typos in, like this Puglisi here, where she's got 2 P's, but it might still pick it up because of the PUG.
I'm not seeing the 9 of 9 on here.
Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
He did a find on the page. He did Control F, and that's the find, and that popped up on his computer. It's not automatically on the page.
yeah, apparently you guys can't see that, although it shows as being
No, we can
within the
see it.
window that is displayed, but I don't know.
I can see
it's
it.
the bottom bar. See where I typed in Salerno?
Yeah.
And then over to the right, it says 9 of 9 matches.
Okay. Okay, I see that. That's Mariano.
There's a Gesualdo Salerno. There's Angelina, Salvatore, Eleanor.
That's different.
Yeah, that might be an abbreviation for Katerina, or maybe she just didn't finish spelling it out. Tony.
Yeah, that was my grandpa, my great grandpa.
And Sebastiano died in 66.
Yeah, Yano.
The other place to look for these two in this kind of a format is WordPress.
Yeah, I always just Google WordPress Omaha obituaries. Omaha obits WordPress. We'll get to that.
One for marriages.
So they've got a new site for, not sure what this is, Cemeteries, Nebraska. Combines listing from 12 Omaha cities and 73 Mormon pioneer cemeteries in Iowa into one easy to search database. Oh, interesting.